Next morning, Roberta woke Phyllis by pulling her hair gently, but quite enough for her purpose. "What's the matter?" asked Phyllis, still almost wholly asleep. "Wake up! Wake up!" said Roberta. "We are in the new house. Don't you remember? No servants or anything. Let's get up and begin to be useful. We'll just creep down mouse quietly and have everything beautiful before Mother gets up. I have woken Peter. He'll be dressed as soon as we are." So they dressed quietly and quickly. Of course, there was no water in their room. So, when they got down, they washed as much as they thought was necessary under the spout of the pump in the yard. One pumped and the other washed. It was splashy but interesting. "It's much more fun than basin washing," said Roberta. "How sparkly the weeds are between the stones, and the moss on the roof. Oh, and the flowers." The roof of the back kitchen sloped down quite low. It was made of thatch, and it had moss on it, and house leeks and stone crop, and wallflowers, and even a clump of purple flag flowers at the far corner. "This is far, 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 and way prettier than Edgecombe Villa," said Phyllis. "I wonder what the garden is like." "We'll go into the garden now," said Peter. But somehow they couldn't find the garden. They went round the house and round the house. The yard occupied the back, and across it were stables and outbuildings. On the other three sides the house stood simply in a field, without a yard of garden to divide it from the short smooth turf. And yet they had certainly seen the garden wall the night before. It was a hilly country. Down below they could see the line of the railway and the black yawning mouth of a tunnel. The station was out of sight. There was a great bridge with tall arches running across one end of the valley. "Never mind the garden," said Peter. "Let's go down and look at the railway. There might be trains passing." "We can see them from here," said Roberta slowly. "Let's sit down a bit." Then they all looked at each other. Each of the three expressive countenances expressed the same thought. That thought was double and consisted, like the bits of information in the child's guide to knowledge, of a question and an answer. Question: "Where shall we go?" Answer: "To the railway." So to the railway they went, and as soon as they started for the railway, they saw where the garden had hidden itself. It was right behind the stables, and it had a high wall all around. "Oh, never mind about the garden now," cried Peter. "Mother told me this morning where it was. It will keep till tomorrow. Let's get to the railway." The way to the railway was all downhill, over smooth, short turf, with here and there furze, bushes, and grey and yellow rocks sticking out like candied peel from the top of a cake. The way ended in a steep run and a wooden fence. And there was the railway, with the shining metals and the telegraph wires and posts and signals. They all climbed onto the top of the fence, and then suddenly there was a rumbling sound that made them look along the line to the right, where the dark mouth of a tunnel opened itself in the face of a rocky cliff. The next moment a train had rushed out of the tunnel with a shriek and a snort and had slid noisily past them. They felt the rush of its passing, and the pebbles on the line jumped and rattled under it as it went by. "Oh," said Roberta, drawing a long breath. "It was like a great dragon tearing by. Did you feel it fan us with its hot wings?" "I suppose a dragon's lair might look very like that tunnel from the outside," said Phyllis. But Peter said, "I never thought we should ever get as near to a train as this. It's a most ripping sport. Better than toy engines, isn't it?" said Roberta. "I'm tired of calling Roberta by her name. I don't see why I should. No one else did. Everyone else called her Bobby, and I don't see why I shouldn't." "I don't know. It's different," said Peter. "It seems so odd to see all of a train. It's awfully tall, isn't it?" "We have always seen them cut in half by platforms," said Phyllis. "I wonder if that train was going to London," Bobby said. "London is where Father is." "Let's go down to the station and find out," said Peter. So they went.